Oh yeah, welcome to How Can She
Snap.
This is the Marvel Snap podcast dedicated to the filthiest of casuals. I'm the kid, one half of the Super Snap Bros, here with my brother from the same mother, Mr.
And BD, no big deal, let's go.
He's here, baby, he's here. And we got a very, very special guest we're very, very excited to have here. She is the chief organizer of SnapCon. She has her own league that she created for the community here. She's an awesome streamer. We're so happy to have her. Please welcome Felicity. Felicity, thank you so much for joining us. Tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, sure. Hey, everyone. I am Felicity, and you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Felicity. It's a pleasure being here. I'm super excited. You guys run an awesome, fun show, so can't wait to get started.
Yes, let's do it. Yeah, we try to, we don't really prepare too much. We're just, we consider ourselves filthy casuals. So whatever happens. We don't take anything too seriously. So even this game included. So it's good. But yeah, so on today's episode, we're going to go over Red Guardian, the new tech card kind of hitting the meta by storm a little bit. Seems pretty interesting. We'll talk about the meta a little bit as well. We're definitely going to go into some of the June data mine cards. Nothing's finalized, but they look pretty interesting. No patch or OTA for us to rant about this week, but let's get it! The kid! Felicity, how the heck are you guys today?
How you doing, Felicity? How's the stream life?
It's been good. Yeah, it's been fun. It's always fun. But yeah, it's really hot in Florida. Just got back from the dog park. But yeah, everything's been pretty good. How about you guys?
I'm all good. No big deal.
I would say I'm good. I'm Canadian weather, so it's perfect right now. Like this is our. We've been waiting months. Months and months, and
so lucky.
It's finally time to emerge from our caves. Into the wild, and yeah, I'm gonna be out there a lot in the next month for sure. So
yeah.
I mean, I'm fired up. But yeah, this is for Florida. You've been enjoying yourself for a while now, right? So.
Yeah, but now it's too hot, and from here on out, it's just bad.
Yeah.
You guys got humidity out there. I'm a Canadian stranded in Southern Oregon, so it's dry here. It doesn't rain too much, but it gets really hot in the summer. It gets like hundreds, but it's like really dry, not humid, which was pretty good. But yeah, it's like 75 out there today. It's like ridiculous.
Oh, that's so nice.
It is nice. I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think about Red Guardian, this new card here? He's a dude from Russia, so he's used to the cold.
Yeah, so usually a lot of times when new cards come out, I don't get them immediately. I kind of wait to see like what everyone else thinks of it before I invest in it. So I didn't get Red Guardian yet. I've played and I've seen him a couple of times. In my opinion, at least, it doesn't feel. I don't know, like when it was played against me, it didn't really affect me that much. But I mean, there have been some like cards that I've played against and I'm like, oh, that would be good versus them, their card. But I don't know yet. I don't feel like I can form like a very strong opinion just yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all right, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, and that's smart. That's a smart way to do it. Let other people get the stuff and see if it works or not. Yeah, we kind of get stuff randomly. We don't get all the cards all the time. Glazer gave us crap last week because we didn't pick up US Agent. I was like, dude, I'm not getting that card. I don't want that card.
6K tokens. What are we doing? I'm not touching that US Agent card.
There's some other cards that we want, but no big deal. What do you think of this card so far?
I mean, he feels pretty solid. I mean, I think Felicity's probably right. I mean, is it a 6K, card you got to get? Probably not. But he seems really interesting. I like that he hits. There's a lot of Nebula out there. He hits the Nebula. There's an Angela, Kitty, Hope Summers kind of lane. All of those are really good hits. I mean, there's games where you just play them on 5. You hit their Kitty. The lane's now just clogged because they're counting on it to hop back. And the Kitty's just sitting there like, oh, fuck me, right? Like, what do I do? So she's just sitting there, and Red Guardian hits that. Always good into the Kitty Angela lane, and even like the Ravonna, Dracula, obviously, but nobody's playing discard now, probably because of this guy. And there's just weirdly a lot of Living Tribunal out there right now. Some of them are playing Cosmo, but even if they are, there's usually you can usually finagle the game if you're playing some Red Guardian stuff, you have like a massive advantage against that deck. You just wait for an Iron Man or Mystique, and then you snap, and I mean they have to stay because they got all their cards. So like, what are they gonna do? Like, they're not gonna leave because they got Onslaught, Iron Man, Tribunal. So why would they leave, right? And peekaboo, it's Red Guardian, but coming to your neighborhood. So he takes out that Iron Man, and it's a beautiful thing. But that's like the nut, obviously. But yeah, I mean he feels solid. I mean, I don't want to say mid. I want to say like maybe slightly above mid. If I had to guess, it's like a 6 out of 10 card. Probably not worth 6K, but I looked at the May cards, and I think there's a lot of skips, and I like Red Guardian better than probably 3 of the cards coming out next month. So that was my main reason for picking it up. But obviously skipping US Agent, and then I might be skipping 2 to 3 cards, at least 2 cards next month for sure.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty decent tech card. Like, I agree with you. Like, he's not like amazing. Is he someone you need in your collection? No, he's not. But he's like, I kind of look at him akin to like a Cosmo, It's like a nice card to have in your collection that if something comes up, like if there's too much living Tribunal, he'll take care of that immediately, discard, he takes care of Morbius, Dracula, pretty easily. And he's just like nice, and like you said, no big deal. Like Angela, I've nailed so many Angelas with this guy. Like, it's awesome. So it's pretty good. But it's hard to find a spot for him in a lot of these decks because like you're taking out other tech cards that are like pretty good. Like, I don't know. So there's been a few decks that people have had that seem pretty good with him. But worst case for him, he's a 3/5, which is like not the worst. But yeah, like if you don't have high Evo, like definitely roll your Spotlight Caches for to get high Evo, because high Evo is an unreal card. But like, is Red Guardian someone you need? No, but I've been having some fun with them. Yeah. And I even did like a Silver Conquest this morning. No big deal. Sending you screenshots against a Tribunal. The guy stayed in the entire time. Yeah. It's like
psychopath playing on Red Guardian week, playing in the Tribunal. Man, these guys
I felt so bad. I was using
2 in a row in gold.
I was using Spyro's deck that he just did so well on the top of the ladder with, and has Lady Deathstrike as well. So like, I was like Lady Deathstriking their Iron Man, and like Red Guardian their other lane. Like there was one time where like he had Tribunal down, and like he was negative power in all lanes, like just because of these cards. Mm-hmm. I just felt bad. But yeah, I don't know. I've been having some fun with him. He's all right, but he's not a must get. What have you been playing, Felicity? What do you think of the meta?
I feel like I face a lot of different kind of decks, and I feel like I'm kind of switching out my decks too. I feel like people are always complaining, and I feel like I always never have much to complain about. Yeah. Which I guess is good, but I don't know. I just kind of deal with whatever is going on, but I'm just happy that I get to see different kinds of decks. The only time I'm really upset is like when I keep seeing the same exact decks like every game, but I don't feel that way right now because that's not what I'm running into. But I was playing some Hella Tribunal, which I think in one of your other podcasts, I think you said you didn't like it. No big deal.
I went. Okay, so Felicity, I was going to ask you about this because I kind of want to pick your brain about this a little bit. Well, first of all, to answer your question, pre Eliath change, I hate that deck. Like, I think old Elias, he's in like 25% of decks, just absolutely ravages Invisible Woman or Supergiant. It's just free. It's just free real estate for old Eliath, right? So once they put the patch out, I started immediately playing Invisible Woman, Supergiant, Tribunal, Hella MODOK Tribunal deck, and then on Sunday we had a pod with Glazer. And these guys are just like, for 10 minutes, just rambling about, it's the Hella meta. It's the Hella meta. It's over. Everybody, second dinner, send them all your complaints. And it was just 10 minutes of like ranting about how they got to rework Hella. And I was trying to explain them that she was a shit card a year ago. Like, you don't have to rework Hella. Like, anyway, it was a whole thing. But I went in detail about, because I've been playing that deck. I got a top 4 in a tournament, in a little secret Snap Judge League tournament with the Hella MODOK. Invisible Woman, Supergiant deck. That's kind of all I was playing the last week, basically. And so I just need to clear my mind, Sunday. I was like, man, I was getting heated. I was trying to defend. I was defending Hella. I'm like, let me go turn on Felicity stream, see what she's up to. She's coming on next week. Let me check it out. And sure enough, you're playing Hella MODOK. So I'm like, yes, let's go. All right, it's not just me. All right, this is good. So I wanted to ask you. Well, first of all, came for the snap, stayed for the vocals. Very impressive pipes on you, Felicity. So some good singing on that pod. I appreciate it, or on that stream. But what are you playing Hella because if you can't beat them, join them, like whatever, I'll try it? Or do you actually like Hella? Do you think, what do you think of the meta overall? Is it a Hella meta, or is it you could play 15 decks and she's just the combo one that kind of goes over the Angela stuff or whatever?
To me, it doesn't feel like a Hella meta. I feel like I've just been seeing all kinds of stuff, and maybe I'm like totally not, I don't know, maybe I'm not bumping into the same things that other people are bumping into, but I like it a lot. It was like months ago that it was a deck that Guest had posted with Hella MODOK Tribunal, and like every single season I go back to that deck and I play it at least a little bit. I just like it. I think it's really fun, and like, I mean, there's like 2 different paths you can go. You don't have to do the whole MODOK Hella thing. You can go for like the Iron Man Onslaught Tribunal path. Like, I don't know. To me, it's very fun.
Yeah, it's a cool deck, but like when that deck kind of pops off, nothing can beat it, right? Like you can get like 500 power in each lane. The Onslaught version, it gets kind of crazy if you get your combo off. It is a cool deck. I don't know why I love Phoenix Force, and I would say like I don't like the Tribunal stuff. Is not I don't like it too much because I feel like I have tried to play it. I feel like I don't draw my stuff enough. And that's coming from a Phoenix Force player who, I'm leaving half my games because I don't draw my stuff. So it doesn't make any sense. And I realize I'm being a hypocrite, but it doesn't, I don't know, that deck doesn't speak to me enough, but it's one of the best decks, it's really good out there.
Matt is bad. Just kidding.
Yeah, probably. It's a skill issue.
Also, I mean, it's got a Jubilee, it's got a Magic. Like you're seeing like 11 cards. I mean, if you're just running real bad there, kid.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
It happens though. Some like there's plenty of games where I don't draw my cards either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Hella Enjoyer played that deck a lot. He plays it at High Infinite. Like all his cards are inked and like crackled and stuff, and he plays it really, really well. I mean, it's pretty cool to watch. But yeah, I honestly, last week I was seeing a lot of Hella. I'm not gonna lie, I was seeing Hella everywhere. This week I haven't really seen that much. It's like you said, Felicity, the meta is so diverse. It's great. Like I actually am really enjoying it. Like I was playing a lot, and it's like I run into a bunch of stuff, and I feel the exact same way as you. Is like if I start seeing a bunch of the same deck, I hate that. It's like like when Thanos came out, and it was like all Thanos all the time. Like 50% of the matches are Thanos, and you're like, come on, it's kind of crazy. Like you don't want to say that. And like I don't want to play Thanos because I don't want to play the mirror match, and it's just like it's crazy. But now it's like there's just so much stuff. It just seems awesome. Mm-hmm. Trying so many different things. It feels so fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Like I like that variety. I don't like when it's just the same thing every single game.
Yeah.
I agree with both you guys. I mean, I think the meta is awesome. I don't think it's a Hella meta or anything. Even last week, I didn't. I feel like maybe 1 in 8 games you see a Hella, but I think that's fine. And so Felicity, I was going to ask you too. Do you like? I got lucky because I pulled Supergiant in the War Machine cache. So like just like by chance, I didn't want to spend 6K on her. Do you own the Supergiant?
I don't have Supergiant.
Okay, well, if one day you get her, definitely I would recommend putting her in that deck. Yeah. She's a cube thief in that deck. She's insane.
Oh man, yeah, I need to get her.
People stay like people leave sometimes when they see your Invisible Woman. Then they say turn 5, you play a card on it, and then like they're like, all right, and they retreat.
Yeah.
They just don't do that with Supergiant. So like you have a Magic on the board, you play Supergiant on 5, and then you play Hella anywhere on 6. And they're just like, it's a Magic, a Supergiant, and a face down card. And they don't leave the game. So you just get a bunch of random 8 cube wins because they're like, what the hell's going on? Like it's just a Magic and a Supergiant. But they see Invisible Woman. It's like we've seen the MODOK Hella, and obviously I run both in the deck. It's a little more consistent, right? If you don't get the Supergiant, you play the Invisible Woman, right? Mm-hmm. But Yeah, she's pretty crazy in that, and pretty good against Angela stuff too, because they can't proc all their Hope and Angela, all that shit. You shut it off for a turn. So
Yeah, that's a good
I got
point.
lucky and pulled her, but yeah, if you ever do pick her up, definitely I recommend throwing her in that deck.
That's what I need to try for sure.
Yeah, no big deal. You got some spice? You want to go over some decks?
Absolutely. Let's go over some spice. So I mean, I dropped like 1K. You know, I was in the 2K ranks. I dropped like to like 4K trying to make this Red Guardian card work. So I don't have any home cooked spice because everything I cooked, it lost me cubes over the last 2 weeks. So I've just been tanking. But today I open up Twitter, you know, which is like once every 2 weeks I'll open up Twitter, and I saw Safety Blade posted this deck, and it just spoke to me. This thing's just a work of art. So you got it here, yeah. This thing is gorgeous. So I've played like a bunch of games on this at this point. This deck is phenomenal. This is like Ravonna abuse, but I'll go over the deck list for the audio listeners. So it's Kitty Pryde, Nebula, Angela, Havoc, Jif, Ravonna Renslayer, Green Goblin, Wolfsbane, you know, the classic card right there, Red Guardian, Hope Summers, Professor X, and Cannonball. So, you know, it's a Clog Cannonball deck, you know, at heart. But the nice thing with this deck is that the other Clog decks have some combination of like Hobgoblin, Galactus, Eliath, Nihilus, a bunch of potential 5s and 6s, so it makes it a little bit clunky. This deck, you always have stuff to play because it's just Professor X and Cannonball, and Prof X gets discounted by Ravonna. So you could even curve that if you wanted to. You know, generally you're holding the Cannonball to turn 6, but like your Angela lane can get huge. Havoc is like no problem because you could just play cards on the Hope Summers lane if you need to play a Prof X or a Cannonball on turn 6. So even if you play Havoc on like 4, you just play anything on Hope on turn 5, and you can now play Prof X or Cannonball. You'll have 5 energy, even though Havoc's zapping you, and then it's a 12 power Havoc. So, and you might have played him for 1 cost because you have Ravonna in your deck. So there's 4 Ravonna targets. That's why Wolfsbane in here. You know, so he's basically like a 2-9 in this deck, or 2-7, whatever the math comes out to. And yeah, 2-9, I think. Yeah. And yeah, you know, Green Goblin does all kinds of work. Prof X, you want to play it on either Nebula, Green Goblin, Havoc lane. So you slam your Prof X on, say, a Nebula Havoc, and even if they outpower you, those cards are just going to naturally just keep going up, and they can't do anything about it. And then you just cannonball somewhere else on turn 6. And there's no like priority Eliath. Like people aren't doing that these days. So they don't blow up your cannonball with the purple fart, and they don't shit all over your cannonball. So, you know, you're basically like, it's like a better Shang-Chi almost. Like you pass it, cannonball pops up, boom, easy peasy, easy wins, easy cubes. And this deck's so fun. I love it. And it Havoc Copium too. I mean, it's got Havoc Copium. Let's go.
Yeah, that's great. I haven't played this one yet because I saw it this morning when you sent it to me. Then I went through Safety Blade at Twitter, and he looks pretty excited about it. It's got 5 Ravonna targets. Angela, did you count Angela? She can be in there too. Angela, Havoc, Green Goblin, Wolfsbane, Prof X.
Yeah, I didn't count Angela. There you go. So counting is hard. Counting is hard, kid. I don't know.
It's still, yeah. I mean, one energy Angela is pretty nuts. And you probably don't even need Red Guardian in this deck. Like you could probably just put another tech card in here if you really wanted to, right? Like
I found the Red Guardian. Yeah, you definitely can replace him for sure, 100%. But he's kind of covers your bad matchups really well. So I mentioned Tribunal before, right? Tribunal can get into your Prof lane, right? Because he's freaking Tribunal. He goes all 3 lanes, right? So like Red Guardian can shut that down. Also, if they're playing like say you're playing like an Angela Kitty Mirror, you don't have as much punch as them. If they're playing the Silky Smooth or like the Shuri Kitty, they just have more power than you. So it's just nice to just have a Red Guardian to just shut that down. Your Angela works. Now theirs doesn't because you have Red Guardian, you know? So I do find, and even you play like there's a lot of Clog out there too. So you're getting these Clog mirrors, you just punch their Nebula, and that feels really good. So I found it like complements the deck really nicely, but you absolutely can replace him for sure.
I feel like I need to get Red Guardian.
Hey, this is the Red Guardian pod. This is the week he came out. You definitely don't need to get him, but this is just a deck that did I mention I lost 2K rank trying to make Red Guardian work? Not with this deck though, but like 10 other decks. I've been on a free fall.
But I mean, after like seeing this deck and like hearing about like how it works and everything, like you're kind of selling me on it. It seems like it seems kind of good, like a little better than like I had originally thought. So I don't know, maybe I'll invest in it.
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I don't regret getting him. Like there's some cards that I've regretted getting. I haven't regretted him yet, but he's not a card that I'm like, I'm going to use him every day. You know what I mean?
Right,
He's going to be very specific, you know? And and no big deal. Just got Cannonball too. That's a card.
Oh yeah. Just got Cannonball today as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, just today you got it, or was it yesterday?
Oh, yesterday. Sorry, yesterday.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah. So Cannonball is one that I didn't get initially, and then like I got FOMO because everyone was posting Cannonball stuff, and I'm like, man, this card looks like fun. Because I didn't think I'd be able to. I didn't think I was going to use him at all. And then I'm like, I got him like a week later. I'm like, I don't regret this at all. The Cannonball card's amazing. I love him. He's fun and he's good, and he's a lot better than I thought he was going to be. And even no big deal. Yesterday, he's like, is Cannonball worth it? He's like, I only got 8K tokens left. I'm like, dude, he's worth it, man.
I'm down to my last two now.
Do you think he's worth it so far?
Oh my god, it's so fun. Yeah, I love it. He's
just fun, right? Like
it's so satisfying. Like you just punch an onslaught. It's a beautiful thing, man. This card is. So he's not replaceable in this deck, but you absolutely can replace Red Guardian. But Cannonball, the whole deck is built around him. You know.
Yeah. This deck, have you guys seen this one? The one that Spyro made recently, and I think he went like over 80% at like top whatever 20 ladder or whatever it was.
Wow.
Like he was like 30. He was playing like 40 games. Like he was like 32-8 or something crazy like that. Like he did some like crazy, and he's like, this is the biggest win streak I've ever gotten on. And this is the deck he was playing, and so I played it, and I won like a silver conquest. I just found it last night, so I haven't played that much with it. But I played a few games this morning. So it's the Hood, Spider-Ham, Iceman, Nico, Pixie, Jeff, Mobius, Red Guardian, Sentry, Annihilus, Lady Deathstrike, and Red Hulk. So Red Hulk, because obviously Red Hulk's OP. Red Hulk could probably go in the other deck too that you just set. Safety Blades deck.
Go on any deck. Yeah.
Like Safety Blades trying to be a hipster and not put Red Hulk in there. I respect that. Yeah. But yeah, I mean like. This deck is hilarious. It's got 4 1-drops for the Pixie to rotate the cost of the cards. Jeff's always get a card. Mobius with Pixie makes it so that you don't have the Pixie downside, right? And then Red Guardian's in there, just new card, new week. You could probably be Rogue or something like that if you really wanted to. Rogue, Cosmo, any other tech card, Chang-Chi, whatever.
My buddy Kevin's playing this with Polaris there as instead of Red Guardian.
Yeah. You can put like another card. He doesn't have to be there. And then there's the Sentry Annihilus Hood package, and then Lady Deathstrike, the new card that we got last week. Yeah. This is pretty good, and then Red Hulk. So this deck is just got a lot of disruption, which is great because all your early game can be disruption, like Spider-Ham, Iceman, really great cards. Nico, especially when she gets on the draw, is amazing because you draw into your other cards. Especially if you do Pixie, if you get Pixie on 2, it's amazing, and then you get the draw from Nico. It's pretty cracked actually. Or if you get the draw from Nico on turn 1 into a turn 2 Pixie, it's wild because then you draw all these like cards that are
that's low. A snap for sure. You got to snap on that.
Yeah. So I mean, Lady Deathstrike has actually been doing a lot more work than I thought that she would. There's a lot of cards that are like 3 or less power, especially like with the Angela stuff, and then again the Tribunal stuff, like Iron Man gone, right? So and Mystique gone. It's all like she does pretty good. And then you get these wild, crazy turns. Like yesterday, I had this one turn. My turn 5 was a 1 energy Sentry, a 1 energy Annihilus, and then I played Red Guardian as well. So I played Red Guardian, Sentry, and Annihilus on the same turn on turn 5, and I snapped before that, obviously. And then the guy left immediately. I was like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. So you can get these wild turns like that, and if you don't get all the crazy stuff, then you usually have like, some nice disruption early. You have Jeff in there, and then you have the Red Hulk too, where you can slam down for like, 40 power, whatever he gets to these days. So it's a nice like backup plan or something. And sometimes the Red Hulk is like 2 energy, so it's kind of crazy. So it's just a lot of fun. Sorry, go ahead.
Do you think the Lady Deathstrike is like is that replaceable in this deck or no? You think?
Yeah, no, she's definitely replaceable. I think you could put any good 5-drop or even another 4-drop in there if you really wanted to. I don't even know. Let me think off the top of my head. Like,
Like
I
a
don't know,
Shang,
like,
maybe. Just, good old Shang.
yeah, you could put Shang in there. Like, you probably don't want to put Killmonger, but like, yeah, even like a Cosmo, Spider Woman, any good like 5-stat card, like even a Doctor Octopus if you want to lean into the disruption. But yeah, Shang's even probably, like we said, no big deal, a good replacement. She's definitely not necessary at all. And this is like the first time I played her, so
yeah, I don't even have her.
she's like definitely do not need her at all.
Yeah.
She was I got her when she dropped when the series drops came for 3K. Yeah, but I've been wanting to play her for a while. I'm glad they changed her. She's feels decent, but definitely doesn't feel like a card that you need at this point. Because then sometimes I ended up killing my own stuff too. Because like they'd have the Iron Man later on, and then be in the lane where like my Mobius was, and I'm like, well, see you later, Mobius. See you later, Jeff. Like I feel bad killing my own cards. Like that happens sometimes. Like I'm not a good player, but but it is fun.
Speaking of that, though, I mean, if you want to get a little spicy and replace her, because I imagine she's in there just in case you don't draw any and you want to execute your void, right? You want to get rid of that -10 on your side. So that's probably a big reason why she's in there. So you could go Beast. I mean, you got a bunch of bounce cards. Like you got a Hood, Iceman, Nico, and Spider-Ham. I mean, these are all bounce cards, right? So maybe not as much Spider-Ham, but the other three, I mean, even Red Guardian, you don't have 2 Red Guardians, like, you obviously beast up the void if you don't draw any, right? So maybe Beast, kid,
Actually, that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, but I mean, LDS, may as well play with the new card that just came out last week, right? Shout out Lady Deathstroke.
Yeah, you want to play with the new cards that have been sitting in my collection for half a year or whatever it was. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. That's it. And then I want to give one shout out to this deck. If are you a Galactus enjoyer, Felicity?
I haven't played that much Galactus, but I like Galactus.
Yeah. So Nerfherder came out with this list. I think he kind of built it off the. I'm guessing he built it off the one that that new one that's going around from Black Dama that everyone's playing.
Tucker was running that for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. He kind of modded it a little bit. And I actually played this 2 nights ago, and I played 30 games and went 70% at around 4,000 infinite rank ish. And I can't believe that it kept. And I had some dumb losses too, where I was just being stupid. But like, I'll read the deck list out: Nebula, Martyr, Daredevil, Jeff, Electro, Wave, Hobgoblin, Prof X, Cannonball, Leader, Galactus, and Red Hulk. And I only got Galactus off like 4 times. So like I was kind of mad. I was going for like really big Galactus plays because it's just so much fun to play that card. As much as people hate it, I love it. But it just seemed to work with all the other stuff too. Like Martyr gets you early priority, which is pretty key for especially Galactus, Prof X, Hobgoblins, that kind of stuff. Daredevil is like the unsung hero. I feel like this card doesn't get played enough. He's such a good card because like when you have him, like you can either Cannonball, Hobgoblin, or Prof X. And it's like kind of crazy, and you can even like ramp into the cards with Electro and Wave, and people just don't expect Wave and Galactus anymore. Like it used to be a thing a year ago, right? But if you Wave and you have Martyr down, like you have priority, you're getting Galactus off. Like it's just, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. So and then yeah, you have Cannonball, which just wins the Galactus lane by himself because it kills their biggest card. And then you have Leader to copy their card if you really want. Or you have Red Hulk if you want to slam a huge card. So if you get Galactus on 4, you can Hobgoblin on 5, and then you could Cannonball, Leader, or Red Hulk on 6, whatever you drew. And it's pretty sweet. They usually leave before then, but
that sounds sick. That's a good point too. Like I used to just insta retreat, right? Like you see that Yondu, you see that Wolverine, back in the day. It's like, all right, what's about to happen. Wave, all right, yeah, I'm out. Like I'm just out. I'm not staying unless I have freaking debris or the Polaris in my hand or some bullshit like that. It's just I'm raging too. I'm rage quitting at that point. But like now it's like, I mean, even if they play the Wave, and even if I'm pretty sure Galactus is coming, I almost always stay in the game still. Like it's just no respect. Like I don't give him any respect, and I probably should. And maybe that's why you're winning 70%, because everyone you're playing is like idiots like me. It's just like, oh, I know he's gonna Galactus, but like, what? He's a Galactus deck. What's he gonna do? You know? And it's like, oh, okay, no, he got leader, cannonball, like Red Hulk, like yeah, he's gonna do a lot.
It's interesting, yeah. But this deck won a lot without Galactus. Like I only played him like 4 or 5 times, really. Like I the only reason why I kept playing the decks because I wanted to just get Galactus off more. Like I just like was thirsting for it. It was weird, but I kept winning, and I was like, man, this deck is fun. I don't know why I'm winning, but it was great. Cannonball steals games too. He just steals so many cubes. This card, it's hilarious.
I need to play that card more. I have it, but I haven't played it much. But I mean, from what you guys are describing, it just seems really fun.
Yeah, please play that card. It's one of the most fun cards in the game right now. Like we're all about fun here. Like I honestly don't care if I don't care about rank or anything. I don't. I just play to have fun this game. Cannonball is one of those cards that's like so fun. Like once you get him and slot him in the right deck, find some good Cannonball decks. There's even some junk lists as well. Yeah, he's great. He's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to steal some of those deck codes from you guys later.
Let me know. Yeah, let me know. 100%. I have a ton of them. There's all these like junk decks too that have been working out really well. This guy played top 40. He got top 40 with this deck. Andre Var 14. It's just like a junk Cannonball list. So much fun. Yeah, junk's in a good spot.
Felicity, if you had to say, you know, something that you like playing the most the last few days, do you have anything off the top of your head that's like you've enjoyed the most recently?
I think I really enjoy playing Hazmat Surfer.
Oh yes.
I really like Hazmat. Like I've always loved like the whole Wong Hazmat and just like make all the opponent's cards like super negative. Like there's just something so satisfying about that.
Yeah, there is.
I know it's toxic, but it's like it's literally, so fun. But yeah,
I love those decks. Yeah, I love those decks too. I was so mad about the Annihilus change because I was like just playing so much clog and stuff, so I loved clogging. Now, like in my clog decks that I make, I don't know if I have any, but in the ones that I usually make, I try and include Hazmat because I like going debris and then hazmatting the stones and then clogging them more.
Yeah.
I just love it. I don't know why.
No, it's extremely satisfying. Yeah, no, that Surfer Hazmat deck's really good, I think, right now. Like nobody's playing Luke Cage, like except for that deck. That deck because it's a 3 and it's a Surfer deck, so it's like a 3/6. It's kind of nice, but like nobody's playing Luke Cage. Like just top 10 decks in the game, like none of them got Luke Cage, except for a toxic deck. So why not be blasting people, especially, and we talk about Tribunal, like my god, that deck absolutely ravaged Tribunal decks. Like they can't do anything to that deck.
For sure.
It's so fun. Yeah, I mean, we talked about this last night with Joe. The high Evo being in the caches right now is like, I was seeing a lot of Luke Cage, and then you're like Cozy put out a video of like a a toxic deck with a Abomination. I was like, man, I don't know why I'm seeing all these Luke Cage Abomination decks while I'm playing like my Galactus deck, but I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Cozy meta, baby.
Yeah, that's it. And like high Evo week too, right? So people are all getting the new card, and rightfully so. Have fun with it, right? The decent decks.
He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to feed the people what they want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Master of his craft. So let's move on to something else here. We talked enough about the meta. Felicity, I really, really wanted to get into one of the main reasons why I wanted you on here is I really wanted to pick your brain and kind of you to kind of explain and tell us, how did you start SnapCon? Because you like just organized. You're like, hey, let's make a SnapCon basically, and that was all you, and that was so cool. I'm like, I don't want to say like, I don't want to be soppy. It's like inspirational, but like it kind of was, like it was pretty awesome. Like how did that even start?
Yeah, sure. No, thank you for the kind words. I've always loved like the community of every game I've ever played, and like something that's super important to me when I stream is being able to interact with the people that are part of the community, being able to interact with other content creators, collaborating, things like that. And it was Kawa, Super Tech God, and Loot Muncher that had hosted the first creator clash in New York. Was it last year or the year before? Yeah, it was about like a year ago.
Yeah.
And they had a bunch of content creators out there to do a a big tournament, and that was really cool. And I just thought, and I remember seeing some people, in some Twitch chats just saying like, when is it our turn? When can we all go to like an in-person event?
Yeah.
So I was just thinking like, you know what? I feel like we could make something like this happen. A few years before that, I had myself and my team had put together a FelCon. We had like 30 people, which was like a lot for us, just like random people flying
That's
in to,
great.
like, hang out. So we figured we have like some experience, and it'd be really fun to put something together and make it like as fun as possible and feature like, panels and game shows and tournaments and whatever else we could fit into the schedule. And so we worked with a few other people, Default Dan and the Jolly Roger, and then a couple of my mods, TC14 and Arctic, Fox and Teffy. Sorry, I just want to shout them out.
Perfect. Yeah, go for it.
So we all came together, and we decided to host it, and it was so much work and so expensive, but it was worth it, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, look good. I definitely had FOMO, because I was like, I would. Is there going to be a part 2? Do you think?
If you're coming, yeah. If you guys come. No,
I mean, I definitely would love to. My work schedule is kind of crazy, so I don't know. If I knew in advance, I for sure would. I would fly out in a second because it would be awesome. Everyone that went and everyone that had, and they just speak so highly of it. It looked so fun, and I really I'm like, man, this is so cool. Like, this is such an awesome thing to do.
You got to bring the mullet if you go. You got to bring the mullet.
Yeah, I grew my hair out for this. Yeah, I just really,
Yes.
I really just leaned into this 80s theme so much that I'm just wearing this stupid shit. It's amazing. Yeah, for sure I would.
But yeah, we have plans to host another one. We've been working on like securing a venue. It's that's a pretty difficult task just because it's extremely expensive, and we have to basically just throw down money into it in the hopes that we can get enough people to come to cover, to cover our asses.
Yeah.
And it's kind of scary because it's like the venue, like every venue is at least like $10,000. So
it's nuts,
it's
right?
not easy to just do that and just trust in that like the community will have enough people to help out, and like with sponsorships and just like donations and fundraising. Like last year we didn't even break even, but it was close. It was like $100 or something. So it was like really, really close. That was totally fine, but hopefully we'll get more sponsorships this year, so it's not like that close.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Do you ever reach out to like Second Dinner for anything like that, or are they just kind of like, we're not like affiliated with kind of stuff like that, but go nuts if you want to do it?
Yeah, we did reach out to them, and unfortunately there's they're not able to support something like that, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not completely sure, but I think it's because of like, Marvel and Disney. I think they're more strict in like what they can support, because it's like an event that's like outside of their control, right? So there's like a liability there.
That makes perfect
totally
sense.
Like, it's totally understandable.
Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately, we can't really get funding in that way from them.
Yeah. Hey, that's all right though. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah, if there's a second one, if I'm not working, I'm in 100%.
Yeah, it'll probably be in August again. We're just not sure which weekend yet, but like we're working that out with like the venues right now to see which ones are available when, and hopefully we'll have an announcement soon.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, because I can imagine it being really expensive. You're competing with like weddings and stuff like that, right? So it's like, and even like venues that big, so people are like, yeah, just whatever.
I was gonna say I feel you on the venues being expensive. I got married last year, so my wallet's still hurting from that.
Yeah,
it's not fun. Well, more than $10,000 in the hole there.
I got married
even Sorry,
go ahead. Sorry. No, go.
No, I was gonna say it's not even like a fancy place that we're looking for.
Yeah,
But
no, I know.
venue spaces are just very expensive.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say I got married 6 years ago. My wallet's still hurting, so you know it is what it is. It's good. No, I'm just kidding.
Everything's just expensive now. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
everything's just so expensive. Just there's nothing that's cheap anymore. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like you could maybe buy like a used car, like you know, I don't know, like maybe like used, but like obviously venues is a totally different thing. But yeah, just anything, man. You want to buy a house, a venue, the new car, anything. It's absolutely absurd. Like good luck, you know.
Yeah.
Very true.
It's tough out on the streets, you know.
It's tough. It's a struggle out here, man.
Also too, Snap Team League. That was awesome as well. You know, it's kind of cool that we're getting all these leagues and stuff. How's that going?
It's been going really well, and I realized I should have done a better job of like coverage of it. But the whole idea behind it was, it's another way to like get the community involved and get a lot of people into like a team sort of league. Because I used to play a lot of StarCraft 2 back in the day. And
same here.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice, very cool. But I used to compete in like some of the team leagues back then, and like my favorite part of the day was like throughout the week we would have these like scheduled practices where we practice with our team and then like hype them up and just like do the team league competition and like rewatch each other's games and stuff, and just like that camaraderie and like just being able to like work with a team together. It's just like so exciting to me and so fun. So I wanted to put together like a team league for Snap, probably more selfishly just because I wanted to compete in it because it's so fun. But yeah, so then I invited a few other content creators, and then had them, you know, choose some people to be on their team, and we're in our last week now, so for this season at least. Yeah.
I mean, I snuck in your Discord, and so I've been following along, just kind of behind the scenes, just like, you know.
Yeah.
It looks cool. It looks like a lot of fun. Like I you know, it's good because you have the team aspect, like you said. It is very cool. I didn't even try and apply for this because I know my work schedule is really ridiculous, and I'm like, you know what? The Snap Judge League we're in, because we follow the Glazer and stuff, and that's like, you know, just yourself. I like have done team stuff my entire life, so I love team stuff. But like, I'm like, if I can't make it one week, like I'm gonna be letting my team down, and like I just can't be reliable, you know. So I'm like, oh man. But
yeah, well, people have been switching people out. So if there's any weeks you can't, like any of the captains can just put a substitute in.
Oh, that's not bad. All right, maybe next year, maybe next one, I might try and you know, weasel my way in with one of these people.
Yeah. Felicity, are you talking CSL? Like, are you talking like CSL back in the StarCraft days, or what team leagues are you? I mean, just I mean, it's a selfish question. You know, people.
Yeah, no problem. I was part of a few like more casual ones. Like there was like a Chobo team league. There was like a Alpha team league, and I think we were part of another one as well. But we used to have like clan wars and things like that also.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing like pro or anything.
I love that. I remember, SC2 days. I mean, that's like 10 years ago now. So
it was like a decade ago.
Yeah.
That's great. I never had the APM for SC2. I played Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne, and then I did pretty well in that game. And then, you know, I'm a boomer, so I was like in college, done college and stuff by the time, you know, SC2 and everything got big. No big deal, grinded for a while, but I was like, you know what, I don't have the time to put in to get good at StarCraft 2. I played Brood War. a lot. I was good at that game. So, you know, I was a Terran player there, so it was great.
Okay, nice.
I was all about the Zerg SC2, but you know, about the swarm life. But my APM was absurd. But like, I do not have that APM anymore. Like I've completely, like if you don't use it, you lose it. Like I've completely lost it. Like I'm so slow now. That's why we play card games now.
Yeah, I'm sure I've lost it too. And it's such a stressful game. Like it got to a point where I was just like, I just can't play this anymore.
I love it. All right, let's go over some of the, because I don't want to keep you too long. Let's go over some of the June cards that came out. Some of these data mine cards. They look pretty interesting, actually.
These are some wild cards. These are like, they might not be good, but they might break like be like game breaking type of cards, like new archetypes coming out. Like the May cards, like I said, there seems to be some skippables. The season pass for May Blink seems really sick, but man, these June cards are absolutely crazy.
Yeah, some of them seem pretty cool. So let's start with the first one here, Makari. She's a 3/3, and I don't know who's gonna be. I think Gilgamesh is gonna be the season pass card. I'm not sure though, but
That's what I heard. Yeah.
yeah, we'll get to it. Makari is a 3/3. After the turn, runs from your hand to a random location if possible. What do you guys think?
This card's gonna break the. No, I'm just kidding. This card looks like it sucks. I don't know. This is like an angel. I don't know. Like this thing. They're probably gonna change the numbers. I would imagine. I don't know, man. 3/3 comes out of your hand. It's like what M'Baku in your hand, Angel in your hand. It's a 3. So it's a little bit better than if Angel or M'Baku came out of your hand, I guess, right? Because after the turn, okay, so it just comes out after the turn. So that's kind of nice, but you don't control where it goes. And I mean it's a 3 power card. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think it's gonna be good personally.
What do you think, Felicity?
Yeah, I feel kind of the same way. It feels kind of chaotic to me. And I don't know. I don't know how I would make that work like consistently, because it just feels like it'll just go anywhere to a random location, and then like you don't even know what the locations are either, right? So it's just I don't know. Maybe with like Surfer. I don't know.
Yeah, that's honestly that'd be the only home that I can imagine this, because they specifically say runs from your hand, not moves to another location. So I am assuming that's by design, so it can't get move buffs or anything like that. So it just runs to a random location, and then like I guess it's a free 3 power. But I mean, like, do you want a free 3 power?
I will say if you are a Cerebro 3 gamer, I mean, this is a staple. This is auto include in Cerebro 3, like 100%. Yeah. I'm not even memeing. Like for like because it's a free 7, in that deck basically. So I think you got to do it in that deck.
Oh, that's just it's Cerebro 3's Proxima Midnight.
Yeah, exactly. It's
a free 7 power.
Yeah,
that's pretty good actually. So for Cerebro, it's good.
Yeah, for C3 specifically, or whatever power this card ends up at, it's going to be in the Cerebro of that power.
That's great.
Because I imagine they might go to a 4 maybe.
Who knows? I don't know. It seems all right. I just can't see it being that good right now. But maybe I'm probably missing something, But I don't know. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed here.
You're not a Cerebro 3 gamer.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a Cerebro gamer at all. I never will be. If I could delete that card from my collection, I would.
Oh no, man! No, don't talk about my boy like that. That's how they massacred my boy.
If I deleted him from my collection, it'd be the same as if I played a Cerebro deck, because I never draw him, I never play him, so it's like it's useless. All right, Thena. Next card. She is a 2-drop. She's a 2/1. After each turn, +3 power if you played exactly 2 cards. Interesting.
I kind of like that. I don't know. I feel like I have so much more control over a card like that. And I think it could be pretty fun. And I feel like you could build up so much power with that. And she's not affected by like Killmonger. Yeah, she seems pretty solid.
Yeah, no big deal. Go ahead.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, I agree with Felicity, man. This seems kind of sick. Like, it seems like a pretty easy 2/7, I would say. Now, I guess it's similar to Nebula, and you kind of got to draw it early. Like, this is going to be really bad on turn 5 and 6, probably, right? Like, maybe on 5 you get it up to a 2/4, but then you have to play 2 cards on turn 6, and Red Hulk's not 2 cards, right? But I don't know if that'll be different by the time this card comes out. But Red Hulk's only 1 card, so he's 23 power and he's 1 card, so. She won't pop up from that. But yeah, if you draw early, it seems like you could really run these numbers up like pretty easily, like Felicity was saying, like easy control, like easy 2/7, probably 2/10, but you maybe play around Shang-Chi, like who knows.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think she's going to be a really good card. Another early scaler, which we were missing for a while because they nerfed all of them into Oblivion. Bring back Werewolf by Night, please.
No,
But
no, don't do
yeah, bring him back. But this card, I mean, she's gonna be like Angela, right? Like she's a 2-drop that scales. So like you could even put her in Angela decks. Like if you don't draw your Angela, because you don't not play Angela, right? Because of you might draw her late. Angela sucks late on turn 5 or 6.
True.
You're not playing her then, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like she could be like maybe in those decks for a little bit more consistency. Like hey, you play Angela or her, right? And just be in any like. I think she's gonna be good in a lot of decks, man. Like you said, she can get a 2/7 pretty easily. Playing playing exactly 2 cards a turn that hard? I don't think so.
Yeah, Kitty Pride probably nasty with this card. To your point, kid.
Yeah.
Especially you're not playing like some Nightcrawler low curve version of that. Ravona does this counter. We were talking about Ravona before. Zabu's neutered. I mean, the kitty's out of the game. I mean, she, R.I.P. to Zobs over there. But Thena, the new Zabu's Ravona, right? So she gets discounted by that. Kitty plus anything, Kitty plus Spider-Man, Kitty plus Hope, whatever. It's very easy to kind of curve out in a deck like that. So yeah, you could just pump this Thena card for sure.
Yeah, and you could even play her in like a different lane than the Angela lane. You can get them both going, right?
Yeah, it's not.
You just play 2 cards in your Angela lane all the time, and then just pop off, right? A card and Kitty, and then these cards they both get huge, and they have to decide what they want to use their tech on, Thena or Angela, right? So unless they're Greasy, Shadow King, and Shang-Chi players, which I haven't seen much of, but they're out there. If they're playing both those cards, I'll lose to that respectfully, and I'll take you can take my cubes and GG.
Your point, it's almost like power creep on Craven in that deck specifically. Anyway, like why would you play Craven? You could just play Thena, slap her on the other side of the board. You got your Angela stuff you're doing over here. I mean, everything goes up, stonks go up. I mean, it sounds kind of nice.
That's true, actually. Yeah, I would cut Craven immediately. You're right.
Yeah.
All right. It seems like a good card. All right, I'm excited. Gilgamesh, which we think is going to be the season pass card. Obviously, nothing's confirmed, and we don't know anything because we're idiots. But Gilgamesh is a 5/2 on reveal +2 power for each of your other cards in play with increased power. What do you guys think of this?
Well, I'll start. I mean, I think there's this card is just a big question mark because it just does it work with Blue Marvel or does it not work with Blue Marvel? Because
it will. Yes, it will.
It will definitely work with Blue Marvel.
I don't see why it wouldn't. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, increased power is kind of like, I don't know. That's kind of like, Shaw, like Sebastian Shaw. I don't know. That's maybe loaded language. I don't know. But if it works with Blue Marvel, I think it's cracked. I think it's insane.
Yeah. What do you think, Felicity?
Yeah, I think I feel like it'll be really fun. I don't know if it's really good, but it feels like it can be pretty good. Because I'm thinking like even if you use it with like you said, like Cerebro or something, or like with like Blue Marvel, or even with Surfer once again.
Nova,
like
Nova's awesome with it.
Yeah, Nova too. I think there's a lot of cards that it can like synergize with, and that can be pretty powerful, I feel.
Yeah, he could just be like even a good turn 6 play too. Like even so, I think the card's gonna be really good. I think this card's gonna. The more when I first read him, I was like, is this card gonna be okay? Then I thought about it a little bit. I'm like, man, this card can get like really, really big. Like especially if you have like some of these Swarm decks are getting kind of popular. Not Swarm the card, but like Mysterio with Mockingbird, Squirrel Girl, Dazzler, those kind of decks, like Patriot style with Brood. You fill the lanes. Throw this in a Patriot deck, throw this in any deck with Blue Marvel. Like that's like what you can get 6 cards pretty reliably that are powered up. And then this is like then this is a 5/14. I'm saying like reliably. I'm trying to be realistic. You can literally get 10 pretty with those decks pretty easily. Play him on turn 6, and if it's just 6 cards that are effective with Blue Marvel, I mean that's 12 extra power on him, right? So he's a 5/14, which is pretty nuts. And then you play him with your 0/9 Mockingbird at the end of the game too, and it's crazy. So I think he's gonna be a big stat stick, which can be pretty good. That I think you could reliably play on turn 6, even in maybe if you want a big stat stick in Kitty Pride decks too. You play Kitty on turn 6, which is a increased card, and then Gilgamesh too.
Yeah,
I mean you're already gonna have like
Angela's in there, Elsa like pumps a bunch of stuff, right? The Jeff, the whatever else you pumped with Elsa is technically increased power, right? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could probably get like 4 cards there and make him a 5/10 at the end of the game with your kitty, like something to play on with kitty on the last turn.
mhm.
You know, he seems pretty good. He seems like he'd be pretty fun. You know, so I don't know. Yeah, he could get to like a 5/20 probably, right? If you have like 10 cards. I mean, that's never gonna happen, but
I think it'll happen. The question is, does he still lose to Red Hulk? I mean, that's the
yes.
that's the philosophical question we need to ask ourselves here.
Well, then you play him on 5. You play Khazar instead. You play a Khazar Zoo. Play Khazar on 4. Him on 5. Red Hulk on
Red Hulk
6.
Easy. Or some Hope Summers. Yeah, you do some Hope Summer stuff. Yeah.
If you do some Hope Summer stuff, then you could play him on 6 and Red Hulk on 5, and Red Hulk's buffed, so he gets extra power.
Oh yeah, Red Hulk increased power. Yeah, there you go. We cracked it.
Yeah, I think he'll be a pretty fun. I think he'll be a pretty fun card anyway, and pretty good. Good that they're making the season pass card, you know, good and not crap. So, anyways, I like that. Cersei, a 5/7 on reveal. Transform your other cards here into random cards that cost 1 more, if able.
Felicity, what do you think about this one?
That's crazy, but like I really like RNG.
Me too.
I think it's super fun, but that's definitely not like I would not count on that to win games. Because it just seems like it's so random. You don't know what you're gonna get. There's some cards that I mean, like you might get like destroy cards, right? Like or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's true.
Like it could be something you really don't want, but it can also be really good. So it's not consistent, but it could be fun.
Yeah. Go ahead, no big deal.
Yeah, no, I see. This is one of the bangers of the season. Like I love this card. I mean, yeah, maybe me and Felicity were both hella enjoyers. This makes sense. We like to just do stupid RNG stuff, which is so funny because you come from StarCraft where everything's just pure skill, and then so I'm actually surprised you're a StarCraft player too. But I guess I don't know, maybe that's how the brain's wired. Who knows? But yeah, Cersei. There's so many cool things I could think of to do with this card, like Brood, for example. Like that's you play a Brood, and then you play Cersei. Give me a Cull Obsidian, give me a Rescue, a Jessica Jones or Drax, whatever, like. That those 2/2 just turned into like 15 power because I played Cersei, and that's
Brood's a 3-drop, by the way.
Yeah, but she goes.
Oh yeah, and one more. Oh my god, you're right.
More,
yeah.
Oh
so
my god. 4/4.
Oh god, this card's sick.
It's insane. So obviously we're gonna play Brood, we're gonna play Mysterio, and then obviously we got those 2 cards. We got to get one of the best cards in the game, Mockingbird. Obviously jam her in there, easy life there. And actually even Mockingbird pumping her up to a 6 is. I don't know if I would even want to. There's so many like YOLO 6s. Like if it just gets like a naked Zola or just like a Galactus, or maybe you hold the Mockingbird till the last turn. But you could just hold it and then she's 100% free, right? On the because Cersei just like all those cards are Mockingbird discount cards, right? So it doesn't even matter at that point. So yeah, I mean, Squirrel Girl maybe sucks. I don't know. Twos are decent. Like 2s are generally 3/4 power at least, right? It's not like you're playing like some Shayna where a bunch of random 1-drops throw on the board and then you just feel really sad because they're 1-drops. You just like put a Titania where you didn't want her to be and she loses you the game, and Shayna unfortunately has stuff like that. But yeah, I mean this card, like, yeah, transform your other cards into random cards that cost 1 more. I love this card. And I mean, do we Cersei on 5? Do we Absorbing Man on 6? Like, is like, you know what I mean? Like, because like we're just gonna keep turning up. Just turn that shit right up, like or just Wong Cersei, right? Same thing, right? Cersei Grandmaster, same thing, right? So hey, Cersei Odin, like
I feel like it's not gonna be as good as you think, but maybe I don't know.
What if I got a board full of 6s? Felicity, I've got a board full of 6s.
Yeah, good. You got Zola, you got Galactus, and you got
just like a leader that does nothing. Yeah,
a king.
Oh my god, Destroyer just runs through my board. Yeah, Yeah, you mentioned the destroy stuff, Felicity. So I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna be playing the shit out of this card when it comes out. Let's put it that way.
It is gonna be fun.
It might
I
not be
can
good,
agree
but
with that.
I will. We be grinding it for sure.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't know how good it's gonna be, honestly. I mean, if you sneak it into like decks with like Brood and stuff like that, like Mysterio, like if you're getting something out of your Mysterio clone, like that's better than a 0 power nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you bast it, like a 3-drop's gonna be better than a 2/3, most of the time. So like you get some value there, and 5/7's a decent stat line. So I don't think she's gonna be busted. I think she's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be hilarious seeing the things that happen. Like especially if you have like a Brood lane, like you said, you play Cersei on the last turn, and like one of them just turns into a Shang-Chi and just takes out their Red Hulk or something. Like that's gonna be hilarious. I can't wait to see those clips.
Yeah,
it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah,
like it's just gonna be fun stuff. It's gonna be a really fun card. How good is it gonna be? I don't know. It might be decent, but I don't think it's. I'm kind of a little more with Felicity here, where I don't think it's gonna be amazing, but I think it'll be really, really fun.
Let me throw out some other ideas. Maybe this will sell you too, because I just thought of some things. So
Dude, I'm getting the card. I'm sold already.
How about Jubilee is a 1 power card? So Jubilee,
yeah,
that's a 4/1 sitting on the board. She's gonna morph that into a random 5. White Tiger, same thing. Sentry, morph the Void is 4.
Yeah.
Boom, Void goes into a 5 power. Hey, Mr. Sinister. Hey,
Mr. Negative.
Hey, well, Mr. Negative is kind of interesting, but Cersei's a 5/7 herself, so that's the only you kind of cuck your Cersei a little bit. So
yeah,
you have to turn 6 Cersei. You'd have to 6/5 Cersei.
I mean, yeah, no, those are the void. The void I thought of too, like putting her in decks with like instead of like an Annihilus backup, turn that -10 into like a 5-drop would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Maybe it turned into another Cersei that turns the Cersei into a 6-drop. That was going to be a wild game.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So yeah. Anyways, this card's gonna be hilarious. I honestly can't wait for this card. It's one of the one. Actually, I'm more pumped for one of the ones coming up, but this one is easily number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Fastos here, or Fastos. I don't know how to say it. I'm going to say Fastos, like a pharaoh, maybe. I don't know. He's a 3/3 on reveal. Give each card in your deck -1 cost or +2 power. What do you guys think?
Felicity, you got live reactions. What do you think?
Oh yeah, Felicity is not seeing any of these cards, by the way.
Yeah,
She's live reacting right now.
So it's one or the other, and it's not all consistent, right? Okay. That's pretty strong, I feel, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's super strong now that I think about it.
Yeah, like Mirage is like a +2 power randomly, right? And that usually feels pretty good. I mean, Loki -1 cost, but it's your opponent's deck. Like this is your own deck that you get to control. -1 cost is pretty sick. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Felicity.
Yeah, like is it Okoye or the Naki? I always mix those two up. That I mean, it gives
Okoye hits the deck.
Like +1.
Yeah, Okoye is +1.
Yeah, I mean this is amazing. -1 cost or +2 power to your deck on turn 3. I mean I think that's super strong. I think it'll be really good.
Yeah, this to me seems like one of the better cards of the month, honestly. They're all pretty good. I mean, like this seems pretty cracked, especially in like I hate to say this, like I don't even play Surfer, but I mean honestly, like in Surfer deck, like if you have Sebastian Shaw in the deck, like he's getting +4 power off this if he hits the +2, right?
Yeah, Brood as well,
Yeah, Brood is getting these cards. If you play Patriot, Mr. Sinister, this kind of stuff, they're all getting this, +2 power. Even Absorbing Man, if you play him in those decks, it's wild. And if they're not getting the +2 power, they're getting -1 cost, which
is good too, because you usually play Sarah with like a deck like that anyway. So that's really
just amazing. Like, and for a 3/3, like Red Guardian's a 3/3. He's pretty good. Like Cosmo's a 3/3. Black Widow's a 3/3. Like this card's better than Black Widow, I think. I mean, look at this card. There's Makari is a 3/3. Like, there's no way. Like, there's no way Makari stays a 3/3, right? After reading this card, like, there's just no way.
True.
But like, but yeah, I don't know. He seems amazing. Like, not just Surfer, but I guess like almost any deck, because you just build like any deck that you play. Why wouldn't you want your cards to cost 1 less or have +2 more power, right? Like. He seems pretty cracked.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're thinking with the balance, though, because Felicity brought up Okoye, right? And Okoye has been struggling to make any deck list. She does pop up once in a while, You know, especially when Blob first came out, that was pretty funny. But she pops up a little bit here and there. But maybe they're like, hey, like you have to play this card early, right? Then you have to draw the cards, and then it has to be either the -1 or the +2. So maybe they're thinking it'll be inconsistent enough where maybe it'll be hard. Like who knows, right? Like maybe the first one you draw, like it doesn't is kind of inconsequential. Like it's you're playing Surfer and it's your like America Chavez or whatever 2-drop you're playing, right? Unless it's Sinister, then you're loving it. But yeah, I don't know. I agree with you guys. I think he seems. I'm playing little devil's advocate there. I don't agree with that, but maybe that's what they're thinking and they're testing. And yeah, I mean, he just seems like good card, and same with Thena, right? Like this guy and Thena just seem like legit, just good big power, like just good cards to play.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm pretty excited for that. These cards seem good, man. And then there's the card that I'm the most excited for. The first 7-drop they've ever released, Arishem. This guy seems wild. So he's a 7/7 at the start of the game, +1 max energy, and then shuffle 12 random cards into your deck.
That's fun.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think? Tell us your initial thoughts.
I think it's. I mean, I think it's super fun. Whether or not you'll be able to win much with that card, I don't know. But I mean, it's certainly unpredictable, which I think that's exciting to me. And I would definitely like play it. But as far as like consistently getting wins, definitely not. But I don't know. It's kind of cool. Well, it does give you +1 max energy.
Yeah.
Man, that's actually pretty good. But I mean, your deck is going to not really have much synergies, most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's going to be unpredictable, so the opponent won't really like be able to like, you know, figure out what you're doing. I don't know. It could be good. Either way, it's like super fun.
Yeah. No, I agree. No big deal. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree 100%. I mean, it seems very meme-y for sure. Like, definitely seems like a meme card, but like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I do think, you know, fortunately or unfortunately, it really feels like a Loki card to me. Like, this seems like for sure you got to play Loki, Mockingbird. Like, why wouldn't you? You know, in a deck like this, like it's perfect. You get all these like random shitty cards, and then you just play Loki, and you have an extra energy. You could play Loki on 3. Like if you happen to draw it. So maybe we're putting in Nico in the deck, you know, maybe good old Crystal, you know, like, hey man, you know, Crystal, she's doing her thing, right? So we got to dig through our deck because we got a freaking 24 card deck. Also Magic for sure, right? Because we have +1 energy. So like, let's load up on cards, you know, Loki, all the shitty ones away. And then we're just top decking cards. I mean, we're sitting on maybe play Corvus too. Like who knows, you know, probably not Corvus, but that's a little too crazy, but because we do need cards, like we do need, you know, we have to use our energy on something, right? So yeah, I don't know, I'm pretty excited. Obviously, you know, Mockingbird, each one of these cards discounts Mockingbird as well. So I wonder if Collector, if you draw one of these cards, does Collector just get +1? I wonder.
I don't know if you draw. I don't know. That's a good question.
Because it's not a card. Let me read Collector. Let me pull up Collector.
No, I don't think so. Because like if you play Collector in Thanos decks, the stones don't start in your deck, right. And if you draw one of the stones, the Collector doesn't get. Right?
Yeah, I don't think so. Your hand from anywhere except your deck, and they're coming from your deck. So yeah, you're right. Okay, so it doesn't. So maybe I'll get a little crazy there, but.
I mean, you want to play Quinjet in him as well, right? Like, because then they're all going to cost 1 less, and you get +1 more power. I mean, that's if you draw, you know, Quinjet. It's going to be hard, but I'm really excited for this card. I mean, like I used to before Hella was good, when Hella was kind of like a big meme, because I don't play Conquest too much. I'm just like I like to play on the ladder because like I usually don't have enough time to grind out huge long Conquest runs. I used to just go in Infinity Conquest like the day before it was done, or like the day of the last day, and just play like bad Hella decks and just snap constantly and try and get these big Hella plays to get an Infinity border. That's usually what I did. Now I play Phoenix Force, but I mean, with this card coming out, I think I'm just going to be an Arishem like Infinity Conquest main. Like it's going to be great. I'm going to play these wild decks, just bring them in Infinity Conquest and have a blast. I mean, this card just seems like so much fun. Everything you said, no big deal. Like, yeah, you obviously you got to throw Loki in there. If you want to be a psychopath, you can put Thanos in there too. That way you have like a 30 card deck. That would be,
oh my God.
That'd be funny. It'd probably be so bad, but it'd be hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. You probably want, I don't know if you want to put like yeah, you got to put like crystal magic, that kind of stuff, so you can draw
Yeah.
everything, and you got to really capitalize on your +1 energy, right? That you get.
Yeah, I'd love it if if he was really bad, like Agatha level bad. I'd love if they pumped his power up because I mean he has maybe they're like, oh, he's 7 and he's 7, but let's pump those now. Let's get him up to a 14 or something. Like I'm spending seven cost to play this guy. Like does he have to be a total brick? And like does he have to be freaking like 4/4 high evo? Like do they, at high evo it makes sense that high evo is a brick because the other cards are so good, but like these are going to be district X like horseshit cards that don't do anything. So like it would be nice if his actual body like did something. When I draw him, can I play him on turn 6, because I have +1 energy and he actually wins me a lane or does something. Like 7/7's kind of sag the like power level here for this guy.
To be honest, he's not as bad as I initially thought, because like until you started talking about putting Loki in, I thought it was just like you shuffle 12 random cards and those are your cards. I didn't know it was like you're adding those cards to your current deck. So like I feel like there's actually a little bit of like, I mean, it is gonna be hard to like draw the cards that you put in, but at least you can draw some of them. So that does add like a level of like consistency in there. So I don't know. It seems kind of, that makes it a lot better. And I don't know, it seems really exciting.
It does seem exciting. I thought the exact same thing you did at first. I'm like, oh, so you're just gonna get 12 random cards. I'm like, this is gonna be awesome. I'm like, count me in. 1 extra energy, and your punishment is you don't know what the hell's in your deck. It's just Arasham and a bunch of random stuff.
Yeah.
But no, but also, the 24 cards, makes more sense here, because then you could use other stuff. Because then you can't build a deck, right? You can't just build one card and. Yeah, don't worry. I did the exact same thing, and nobody was like, "No, bro."
I just pulled up Thanos here, and it's exact same wording. Shuffles the 6 Infinity Stones into your deck, and this is the same thing. Cards into your deck. So I think it's gonna work just like Thanos, right? You add 12 in.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, those are all the June cards. I mean, I'm pretty excited for them. Obviously, they're not finalized. Makari, I'm looking at you over there. Probably needs a little bit of love. But they seem like, the effects on the other ones and stuff seem pretty cool, and they seem pretty fun, so I'm pretty pumped for it. Yeah. All right, so that's the June cards. With that, Felicity, hey, thanks so much for coming on here. Honestly, we really appreciate you coming on, and telling us about StapCon and all that stuff. That was awesome to hear. Loved your opinion, love your stuff. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Hey, if you're welcome back anytime, honestly, come back anytime you want.
Well, thank you guys so much. It was so much fun. This was the first time I actually went through the cards for like the upcoming season. And that was actually, I feel like I should do it more often, because it's actually really exciting and gives me like something to look forward to. But it's been a pleasure talking with you guys, and the discussions that we had, and like getting to hear your opinions. You guys are doing great stuff.
Thank you. Don't trust any of our opinions, though, please. Just a disclaimer. Don't listen to anything we say. We're just a couple of idiots here.
Try to have fun playing the game.
That's it. That's the only one. No big deal. Close us out, man. What do you got to say?
Hey, check out Felicity's stream. It's fantastic. Felicity, what is the Twitch stream?
It's twitch.tv/Felicity.
Okay, perfect. So you got full domain control there on the word. You didn't have to do the bullshit underscores or anything, so that's really good. That's a big dog energy right there. So you got to respect that. Shout out to Felicity. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been fun. I mean, these June cards look insane. I'm looking at Cersei and Arasham. One thing with Arasham, I wish his name was a little different. Like, I don't know how to pronounce this. Like, I don't love the way these like letters are like arranged here. Like the way it sounds is really awkward to me. Arasham, there's no like consonant. It's all vowels. I don't know, man. It's not working with my speech pattern. But shout out to Felicity. You're the best, Felicity. The kid, you're the man too. Sick mullet as always. Let's go.
Yeah.
Snapping.
We snapping. All right. Peace.
Peace.